Let me stream.
Alright.
Should be good.
Everything from this session is relatively close, so...
Oh, are they all zones? I didn't check.
I did do mostly zones, yeah. Just
Okay.
because Turney's been, like, zones for, like, most of the
Yeah, I actually like that.
past week or so.
I like that a lot of the tourneys, at least like maybe not recently or too recently, but a lot of them have switched to more zones focused format. Okay, wait, I'm not team I'm not team reviewing. let me go all the way back.
So the players I play with here, I generally try to open up like left side with Crab here, with them because they always for some reason want the left Crab while UB plays right block. So you'll probably see me just playing that early there. But then I realized like we were getting space faster, so I just moved in.
I see that. This is, I think this is pretty much fine. The only thing you don't have covered is the back mid, and that's where they are going to be approaching from here. You are knowing what you know, like you telling me that you know that they want you to play for a Crab left. I think your spawn paint here is super unoptimized. Because we go like usually if I'm going to left box here, I'm going like grates almost at the start here on the left, and then just painting everything there in the pit.
Okay.
I think yeah, at least what you can do here is just think about your routing, like even going in recon mode to like think about your routing that way. That'll help you get Crab a lot quicker because you do get it pretty late. Like we can not only just like timing wise, like you're maybe like 5 or 6 seconds late to Crab, but like notice the mini has hammer by the time you're ready to Crab. Like things have happened on their side, right? While usually like if you're going for opening Crab, you want it to be as quick as possible, like before the enemy has anything to really deal with what you're about to put out, or you know, like just as quick as possible. And the enemy team here is hammer and cooler ready to go. So
I definitely naturally practice my optimization because like one of the things that happens to me a lot in opening is I will be doing stuff, but my brain will be completely focused on what my teammates are saying, so that when I know when we're starting up the push, I'm like, okay, because like here I could hear them calling like, oh, like we have this already, you can push up further, and my brain is still painting in the back. I'm like, wait, I can just go now, and I just completely left like half this shit like unpainted. So like
yeah, I think
yeah.
like even for me, I know most my routes that I want to go. I mean, unless it's like a map that like I really don't play very often, sometimes I'll make stuff up on the fly. But like if you're talking to teammates, it kind of makes sense if you don't have like everything together at once, because like I'll like forget that I'm like going left here at the start or something. I don't know sometimes. So that makes sense too. But I think this Crab spot is fine. It's just like you just gotta think now, okay, but they have resources ready to go, right? They have the hammer ready. So even though you're not in a bad spot at all for Crab, like you are like pushed back here, you know, you're not gonna be able to get as much done as you could do. Nonetheless though, this is still pretty good. It's a good pick. Make sure we grab cooler on the right as well. Yeah, you just let it die.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think I was trying to see what Skaboop was up to, and I just ignored it, which is dumb. I should have just grabbed it.
Yeah, this whole 20 seconds too, I think is like again kind of unoptimized. So I think you have a lot of the right ideas with what you're doing, but here, for example, once we move over to the right, like you see this mini in your head, you probably know that they need to be moved out eventually, right? Like there's 2 of you here. It has to happen very soon. Like you need to call for Skaboop to help you or something with this right side, and then take the fight. Them like living here is putting less attention on like what's going on left, you know. So you want to be forcing them out as quick as possible. That way you can now like look at where you're about to look, which is over here. Because ideally here, right, like I mean they're not stalling you for very long, but there's probably like 5 seconds again or so that you are just kind of sitting here waiting for things to happen. And if you had those 5 seconds, if you had been painting during those 5 seconds, you could you could very easily have crab ready like on snipe or something. But notice here how you're just kind of going back and forth. There's no like you're just kind of waiting for them to make a move. But like you have the opportunity because your teammates are up as well. You have the opportunity to call to get stuff done on right quickly. That way you can then do what you're about to do right now, which is like set up left. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you do notice that you can't really set up too much on left because you don't have the crab, but like I said, ideally, you force the player out right, you get crab on snipe. I think you can do a lot more with crab on snipe here than the position you're playing right now. But I don't think the position you're playing right now is all that bad. We just need to be looking a little more left, which we do right now. That's good. Okay, a little unprepared though, because you are... I noticed that you don't have any ink to like commit to anything here.
Yeah, I popped I threw the burst bomb at them and then just realized I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't have that much to commit to as well, so it's okay. Could be looking at the Zipcaster here. Whenever the Zip looks, or whenever you see the Zip in this sort of scenario, where they like are around you, ideally you are the one dealing with it, because whenever they make a mistake like they do right here, this first zip like is to kill your pen, you know, but then they make another mistake here where they zip to the ground. Like, I mean, okay, actually in that case, sorry, no, because they were recalling, but like if they ever zip to the ground, that's just prime real estate for you to just kill them really quick. So try to look for that there. Also, because if the pen dies here, when the enemy's in Zipcaster, like they're basically just getting free value, and you have the opportunity to do something here, you know, like to fight back. I always say this, I guess maybe not while coaching, but I always think this, that like the most important time to either kill someone or to not die is when you have already gotten a pick or the enemy has gotten a pick. So like for example, if let's say you get a pick, right? The most important like moment during all of that is what happens directly after the pick you get. If you survive, then that's value, you know. Whereas if you are to die to that, like almost all of your value just gets devalued into a trade, and it's not nearly as good for your team. So it's the same sort of thing here. Like because you can think of this like the Squiffer just kind of went out of position to kill this pen. You know, they had to zip to top mid. That is your opportunity to kill them. You know, to basically devalue their pick on the pen. Well, a pick on the pen is big, but you can still like get something out of it here, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that's also a lot of the neat thing about playing support too is that like a lot of times you're looking at your teammates, so you have the opportunity to bring back a lot of that value in that sort of way. It doesn't always have to be straight up from pushing and getting kills. It can be a lot of times just from reacting to the situations that your teammates are in, you know, and basically like bringing the team back that way through like, you know, actual support, I guess. So yeah. That pick still would have been very difficult to get, though, I think, either way. But
yeah, the thing is with the Squiffer, the thing is too is it's a Squiffer recall. It's a Squiffer Zipcaster. So
right.
a lot of times they will zip it up the floor to try to get the one shot off by like just charging their guns. So like it's like one of those things where I felt like I didn't have a strong enough angle on them to contest that, and I probably should have just turned left and he was gonna zip behind, because I don't know. I didn't also expect them to just hard bum rush the pen.
Exactly, yeah. Like, that's the thing though, because they did it, like they're out of position to kill you, at least in that, you know, moment when they have to zip and like basically get into your range to kill the pen, you know. So that's where like you can punish them for it, I guess. But it was definitely unexpected too. It's like there's things we should be looking for.
Like zip is definitely gonna target pen, but like I didn't think they just go in like that. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so I want to know from you what your reasoning was for going top mid here. I noticed like you have in this scenario, right? Your team doesn't have that much space. You have the Zipcaster out, and we have Crab very soon too. I'm just wondering, or like, do you know why you decide to go to top mid here?
I want to get height coverage for the paint, and I didn't see any target. And then I noticed like as I was climbing up the S blast, and then instantly got shit on.
Okay.
Like that's it. I
Because
thought that's contesting the S blast or something behind, and I was like, okay, I can move up onto this spine to like paint, and then I just, or I could play the that's also a range thing too for me, because
oh yeah,
even if the S blast was there, I probably would have contested it just because I thought I had enough range to stay out of his radius when I was painting, and then I could back up. Um, so yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get height to paint. That's pretty much it.
that makes sense. Because I saw that you had Crab here, and I thought you were going to go for like a Crab play top mid or something. But I just wanted to make sure that I guess that was or wasn't the case. But now I know. So
I probably
ahead.
would have grabbed right block. I probably would have grabbed right block. I didn't realize.
Yeah, right here. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's your best bet here. Like the thing about top mid is it's really dangerous for a splash as well. You have weapons on your team that can deal with like the threats top mid quite a bit better than you can, as well as like the enemy team having like the S blast, you know, who can just shoot onto mid, and the pen and Squiffer combo as well. Like top mid is basically just a lane. It's going to be pretty difficult for you to get stuff done there. If you are going for just paint, which is also fine, you can do it from this right side as well. I think just holding right would be fine, because then, you know, if you're, for example, holding right side here, which is what it looks like you are trying to do, even while getting, you know, paint coverage from up top, like that will let you scout out basically like the perfect time to use Crab, right? If you're painting from the box maybe, or from right snipe, like you can kind of just have a good overview and get a better Crab out, because you'll see like you'll have a better view of what's going on the map, I guess. When you approach like this into what you are trying to do, which is get paint top mid, notice how your Squiffer's, or not your Squiffer, sorry, your Stamper is dead. And when you go up here as well, you have like, I mean, I just don't see the like teammate support that would let you get up to here is what I'm thinking, because
Yeah.
the only thing stopping the enemy team from like directly looking at you when you go up here is the sword, and the sword is dead. So like look at how quickly everyone starts to look forward again, and that's when you come in, and then, you know, you're just down. So it's something to be aware of. Like, I guess playing for the top paint to support is really nice for your team, but it's also super risky when you're like the only one up there. So I would say if you want to go for something like this, at least use Crab first. That way there's little risk of you getting no value at all from like that whole, like, you know, section of plays or whatever you want to call it. And then also because that'll help clear out like top mid and stuff, so that you can actually, you know, move there.
Okay.
You can't really go wrong with the Crab there, though. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, true. I do it a lot more later in the game.
This is great. I can already tell. This is super good. And it's almost strong for the same reasons why an opening Crab there would be strong, where the enemy does not have any resources to deal with you immediately, and you're also forcing out a lot of the space on left. So this is super good. Like, look at what they have to give up here, right? Pen is top mid, this other guy is top mid as well. They both have to back up to you, even though you didn't even hit the pen. They still had to back up, or maybe you hit the pen there, but no matter what, they're forced out, right? Your teammates now can move up through right, which is already fully controlled by them, and they have to play back on this box. This is really good. What's the follow-up here? So we moved. Okay. One thing I do notice is that, and this isn't entirely your fault, but there's no follow-up from like our plays. A lot of our plays are like really solo.
Yeah,
from the team here, and there's not much you can do against that or to like help.
yeah, that was something we discussed. So the thing is, I know 3 of the 4 players on this team pretty well. I've played with Luck before, but like Skaboop and UV, I play with pretty consistently. Skaboop is a very strong, aggressive player, but he also sometimes goes for very individualistic plays, and you have to either you have to like rein him in mid game, or sometimes he will just dive. And like that's something I've discussed a lot with people that have helped him out, Vinox, etc., other players that like we know pretty well that has helped him out in Stamper. And like it's one of those things where I think he kind of just went into that really aggressive mindset, especially because him and Luck were very distinct a lot of this pickup. Um, but yeah, I wish we had better follow up on that. It's just unfortunate because I told them the crowd was up and that I was clearing left. Um, but I think they just overextended into that, and then UV tried to take a way more aggressive angle on Pen because they play a pretty aggressive Pen, and it kind of just caused like a fallout, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just see this, and I don't think there's too much for you to do here. So it's whatever. Um, like this all makes sense to me. To go down here, and now, okay, you jump out. Okay, that's a perfectly fine play.
Hmm.
So we have to look to set up crab somewhere. Looks like it's right side. Okay. Um, this is like, I guess this is a little questionable just because, like, even
It's a bad
excluding the hammer, you don't have too many sight lines on what you're trying to look at here. Like you notice the guy right. Looks like you really want to get them out. But I think you can do the same exact thing with burst bombs here. I don't think you need the crab there to move them. Um, and like your crab there is like, at least that being the first target you go for, you know, you're gonna have less like of a view on what's going on the left side, which is when this hammer comes in. Now you do dodge it, but like look at your targets. You have no targets here except for maybe like one person on zone. um
Yeah,
and so the rest of this crab is rough.
Yeah, no, I knew. Yeah, that was a rough angle from the start. I think I kind of just popped it panically because I wanted to make sure we could get in, off the 25-32, which I shouldn't be really watching the time. Honestly, it was just one of those things where it was like, oh, I see that we're getting close to losing leads, so we probably should try to flush out whoever's getting the hard time on on dome, and then just
Right.
move in. And yeah, I should have just took the open angle. That's on me.
Yeah, so I mean, really just one, flush this guy out with burst bombs. S Blast won't be able to move. The plus the Stamper, like you guys are bound to kill him or at least move him. And then two, also don't be too worried about the countdown. Like I think there's a mistake I make a lot too, is where where I will get extremely like desperate to get a push going now, or you know, because I have that power, but like it's always better to be safer rather than sorry with pushes, because like Splatoon is just it's just a game about being like well optimized with your decision making and stuff, and you know, if you make one poor decision, like that could literally just cost you the game. So if this push doesn't go well because of this crab, like then that's just what it is. You know, that's the game. So it's
Mhm.
important that like we get as much of this right as we can. And I think it starts here with the burst on the S blast, and then like from there, I mean, you can maybe pop crab here still. It's just at least you will have a better like view of what of this left side, I guess, as you go to crab.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Okay, yeah, and then we get kind of like AoE'd and burst spammed here. This
Yeah,
entry is like, it's just difficult for you here because again, like we don't have too many resources going into this now, because we popped our crab on
and
primarily this S blast.
yeah, and that's why I was trying to get the S class out, is because the S class was like honestly the main target for us a lot of these fights early in the game, because there was just a lot of burst pressure and comboing from them, and I was like, okay, if I can get the S-Boss out of right side, we can walk in even if the mini's there, and that was part of the reason why I was so into that, but I think just focusing the other two on the front would have been way easier and way more efficient, as you said, so that was probably just me tunneling a bit in the game and then realizing, like, oh, yeah, I probably should have just looked forward.
I think it's good that you're trying to get rid of the S-Blast. I think the S-Blast is like the glue to their comps, so a lot of that does make sense to me. This entry is difficult because of what's going on the left. You can see it a lot more clearly here. It's also something I think you would have seen if we weren't so focused on the right side with like the shots after the S-Blast had moved. You kept looking right. Again, kind of ignoring a lot of left, and I think that's why your entry here was poor, or at least like part of it was poor because we didn't pay enough attention or like respect left enough. But either way, like even if you look at left here, your entry is gonna be super difficult, and you probably are gonna have to wait for Skaboop to come back. So like it's whatever at this point. Okay, but we're back in quick. They made some mistakes, so we have another chance. Like top mid here is a lot better for coming up because again, like your team has right side secured. Like luck is also with you, helping to make sure no one's gonna contest you, right? Like the mini is the only one who has the opportunity to, and they back off. So this is like a great time to be top mid, which is when you are. Just gotta watch out for that pen, I guess. That's it.
Yeah.
Because remember, you still aren't safe. It's like the high point of the map. You are going to be looked at when you're up here. So, but like other than that, like again, the thought process is here. This is good. You are really out of ink for being top, and that might also be maybe partly a. Oh no, it's just an okay. It was just an overcommit with the squid roll. It was just not needed. That's all. Okay, again, here we have to be very careful. It might be time to get off top mid. Ideally, we want to look for a play. Left side seems great. This is good. This is really good. We should talk about why this is good, too. So, again, almost no resources from the enemy team. At least resources that they can play out and use to actually do something against you, right? Like the mini's dead. You have great sight lines over this charger, which is what you're going for. You see that here, you know. You're also another thing is you're targeting the cooler, which is great because that's where the team is going to be playing. You know, they're going to be at least somewhat around this cooler. So this is all good. Like, look, see, as they back up, one for the cooler and also just to back up, like you are in just prime position to at least chip them out, and that's great. So this is a great crab. Yeah, look a little more right to help out a little quicker. Okay, and then what happens here?
I just got sniped by Squiffer. That's pretty much it. I rotated to look at right because of the fact that they were there, and the Squiffer took the position to kill me.
Right. Let me see it one more time from your perspective this time. This is great.
Yeah, I see the Squiffer there trying to aim at him, but then I hear that they need help on right, rotate, and I die.
Okay, so you are just barely out of position here. You just need to back up a little more. This is something I would use ball form to do though. Like you see them back up here. You miss this first shot. Like they're no longer your target. Honestly, I would only continue chipping left here if you've already gotten like 50 plus damage off on them, and you actually have an opportunity to kill them. I think you waste like 2 shots here, and that could be time you're rolling back to get into a better angle to shoot the right side.
Yeah.
But like this is tough. Like the Squiffer does make a really good play here for this.
If I was like an inch back, I would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also the thing though. Like look at how quick this happens too. Another point I had touched on earlier. When you have obviously a great crab here, right? You get the kill on the pen, and your team is left to like fight a 3v2 on the right side. But like all of it comes down as soon as you get picked here. Super important that you don't get picked here, because when you do, everything starts going bad again. They get control of left completely. Your team has to back up. Booyah Bomb goes out, and suddenly they are once again in control. Like that's how that's how punishing it can be for you to go down as soon as you get a kill. So it's really important to always just be at least safe after you get a kill, and you're in a position to actually play safe like you were there, where you could just back up a bit. But unlucky, I guess, with the Swiffer kill. They made a good play. Okay, I would like us helping this right side again, like trying to help flush out whoever's up there. I think you could just help a bit, that's all. With burst bombs again. This crab I like a little less because you have you have like a thought process for fighting the right side at least. Like you do have like some targets, but you don't have any follow-up after that. Like they just hide and it's over for your crab pretty much in terms of effectiveness. I think it would have been a lot better used on the left side.
I also thought we were going to take it faster because Skaboop was hard diving that with the cooler, but...
That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, like you have two different options here. The first thing also that I do notice is that, like, okay, you can do what you did here, like this works. I think you could also, like, another idea is, you notice here, hold on, like I said with S-Blast being the glue of their comp, you have the opportunity here to just not burn crab. Like I think these kills, like the enemy's 2 down. You know, if you guys move up quick enough, you could easily just, like I said, crab the left or even crab the right too. Like I don't think this needs to be used so far back. If anything, like what crab can do like this is it can be super influential in, like, you know, getting your team space and just basically like swaying the state of the game. But that's exactly it. It has the power to do that. And when you put crab in a really like far back position that doesn't get too much value, like this box here, what ends up happening is you lock your team to only really being able to play over like so much space rather than however much they could have if you had waited to use it or use it in a more upfront spot. So like look here, when you use this crab space, right, like what does your team have? Your team has this right side, which is what Skaboop is playing for, but nothing else is cleared yet. So where can your team move? Only this small like right side and zone. They can't really go up and contest anything, at least just yet. And it's because your crab is kind of almost like locking them into just playing for zone here instead of playing for zone and pushing space front. So that's something to think about too. If you can save crab here, notice they're 2 down. Like go play crab on this box right here that's like painted purple, or you could even go like to this pillow. It doesn't have to be the like main snipes or anything. It can be far left even. There's a ton of different places you can put it, but just keep in mind when you are playing a crab like this on retakes so far back, you are locking your team to like what control they can take, I guess, because you know you're playing further back, so they have to also kind of match that, I guess. But yeah, I just don't think there's too much for you to do here, and now you're gonna go into the rest of this now in like a worse position because of it, because you know you have killed 2 to get this retake. You do have a lot of space, but what you don't have is that crab anymore, and your teammates aren't gonna be in fantastic spots to like play against your opponents here. Like we can even look at this. We should look at this from like where they're trying to play. So we're gonna speed up after this crab. So we get crab out, they move. Notice how, like I said, we have to kind of retake this left completely. And then here, like your teammates, let's see. I mean, okay, Skaboop overcommits at a bad time. But again, like, you don't have Crab to push them back or like do anything, so Luck also has to stay here. And like, notice they just immediately retake, or at least start retaking. Okay, but we can go back to you now. We should back up a bit. Okay, so you do recognize that this right side can be like fought over. I think this is good. I think your timing here is a little rough because like Skaboop is in and you're still back. So like you know, you have the position here. Skaboop dies. Makes sense for you to back up here a bit. You see the jump that Skaboop is coming in. You see it here as well. But you're still like you're still back quite a bit. And then now finally you do take the position, but like I think it's just a little too late at this point. You still can get stuff done here, I think, but it's just a little late now because Skaboop was in the position to like move up and play up right, and you weren't in this case. But even going in right here, I think would be great. And I also do like that you move right here. This is good. Okay. Should be looking front. Yep, this is great. Good. Okay, that's rough. You try to throw a burst bomb, you just shoot. It's habit for me too.
Yeah, I think what happened, so what we discussed there was I said to the team, I said, Vizzy has hammer. If we don't rush them, they're going to recoup. Because the thing is, I saw that they were backing up to get the space to get hammer, and I knew that as soon as we would get into overtime, they were just gonna try to hammer us. And that wasn't, and I realized Skaboop was down, so I realized I probably had to take the fight, so I ran in. And we missed Vizzy by I think one, like he was one.
Yeah.
Like it was just unfortunate.
Yeah, it was. Just space yourself out a little more at least, because you do have the opportunity to take that at least a little slower, I think, as well. I have some more comments for just the whole game after, but I want to see what happens during this last couple seconds. So this happens, okay. Still have a chance. Maybe. Actually, no. Oh, you do get good kills. This is good. Okay, don't look at zone here, though. This is your momentum. You just killed someone. The enemy's still like they're super desperate for zone. You can tell because every single one of them is looking at the same zone and everything. But as you get this first kill, like you got to just keep going at this point. You know, you see the mini, boom. Going for a zone here is it's the only mistake you make, and it's enough to kill you. That probably actually would have won you the game, I think, because they would have had less paint. Or at least it would have gotten you close.
Yeah, we realized.
Go ahead.
I think we realized that too, but it was unfortunate because I was like, we knew UV was on left because UV was hard contesting the paint on left, and I was like, I think what happened there was I tried to paint like the edge of the zone so that UV could look for like just straight and just paint them, but like UV's on fucking pen, like it would have been fun to just shoot at them because they would have got covered the zone anyways. I don't know. It was just a bad misplay like the last fucking second.
Yeah, it's again like it's not even like just you or just the enemy team. Like it's me too. Like everyone is always just sometimes too focused on the zone, I think. A lot of the times, like this is a bad habit.
I kept the crab leg game in there from the same set as like a difference. I don't know if you grabbed that one or not.
Oh, maybe I didn't.
Maybe you didn't. That's okay.
Yeah, I got 6, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I just didn't see it then.
Mean, we won that game, but we won that game, so I don't even know if it would have helped with anything. But
I mean, it's still maybe look at it. But the main thing from Umami that I also was going to talk about, there wasn't really exactly a time to talk about it though, was that you are not really like contributing too much to the actual like fighting going on. Like you are playing super supportive this entire time, and I don't even entirely think it's your fault. In the sense that you are just like deciding not to fight or anything. I think a lot of the time you more can't fight because the plays that would allow you to like fight better or have like a better chance to move in aren't being like successfully like played out. A lot of times that starts with your crab plays, so like your crabs can get a lot of momentum, and if they don't, then your fights going forward are going to be worse, and it's going to be worse for your team. So I think if you can fix, for example, like just like I said with the crab momentum on like either the right side or left, like if you notice that their team is 2 down, and you can put out a better crab in like a more like well placed spot or well thought out spot, that'll help you. Same thing with your entry. If you burst bomb the person on snipe and then look more left, that'll help you with your fight as you enter to left. I think that's a lot of it, more than you just deciding not to really fight too much. And then also like I guess you are looking for a lot of those fights too. Like you saw at the beginning of the game, there was someone on the right. You did decide just to not like take that fight on Vizzy, the mini. But that was more of I think you just needed to like initiate with like Skaboop or someone else. But that was only really like fight that you just decided to flat out like not take, I guess. Everything else was just down to like you were not really in the position to take, and a lot of the time it was because of the plays that happened beforehand, I think, rather than anything else.
That kind of explains what I've been having an issue with then, because the problem I've been told all the time, and a big reason why, like, oh, people tell me all the time, like, oh, no one wants to play in pickups with you because you're not aggressive enough, or this and this. And I always felt like that wasn't fully the issue. I mean, it probably is part of the issue. Like, this game, I think it was just more apparent of, like, why that's happening. Because I always felt like I was trying to play aggressive angles, but it never, like, or aggressive and play aggressive, but the problem is that it never, like, everyone always saw it as just me playing more supportive than anything, and it's like I'm not sure if that is just because of team misplays before me going in, or like, and think in this case with how much initiation was based around crab, definitely it leans more into me just needing to re-optimize like some of the crabs and stuff, but that definitely is something I'm gonna probably highlight when I go over this stuff in notes.
Right. So you can't always go in no matter what. Like you're not the best Slayer weapon in the game. You have to. You have a lot more stuff to think about than I think your average S class player would, or anything. Any front midline Slayer, whatever, would have to think about before they go in. But at the same time, like there are definitely it's I think it's both a mix of there are opportunities you could be trying to initiate in, and then also like you would have a better time initiating if your plays were better. Like I said, like your plays to kind of get that momentum were more like optimized, I guess. And a lot of that does start with crab, because that's when you're really just making space for yourself and your team to move through, do whatever they need to do, and yeah. So I think you should at least start to maybe look for plays after you get good crabs. If you get like a good kill with crab or something like that, you can most definitely look to keep playing forward after that with your fronts or anything. Or if you notice that you do get a good kill on maybe the guy you're bursting out on snipe, on retake especially on retake, you'll have a very or much easier time, I guess, moving in, as long as you have some momentum to go off of. But splash, you can't always be, or you can't always expect yourself to be able to create that momentum just out of thin air, through like a play or anything. Like, it's not how it works, unfortunately. I wish. Okay. Next one. That was a long first game, though. It's been 40 minutes
Yeah.
already.
That's
Has-
I picked good ones for this session because I was like, I got so many games that were like literally losing right at the end. I was like, and everyone keeps telling me like, oh, like there's something definitely wrong because you're like losing like every game at like the last fucking minute. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but it's one of those things where like the past couple of days have been really rough because like I feel like I'm like on the verge of a breakthrough with everything and like everything is kind of just not falling into place and I'm not really sure why. It's just unfortunate. Um, but that's why we're here. So
it's true. Okay, so first 20 seconds of this game, I'm noticing again the same habit. So we like notice where you're standing, right? Just purely where you're standing this entire time. It's exactly here. You notice it, keeps happening. Still here, and then once the plays have already been made, now you're moving forward. This is something we saw in the Umami game where again you were looking at right pit and there was just no action being taken. In this case, maybe the action doesn't have to be like fighting up front or like moving up far up, but your action could instead be maybe popping crab soon or something. It all really depends on what you talked about with your team beforehand. I don't know if the goal was to get crab here early, or if your goal was to more like maybe chip out the enemy or something.
I think it was a for what I think what I said on the opening was I will get early crab, but if I will try to get early crab, but if we like hard make a play early, I'm just gonna go in. And they made a play early, so I was like, okay, I'm just going in. I think I probably could have got the crab up faster if I painted left. Especially because UV I told UV to go to glass because for some reason UV really likes playing left stack, like the snipe in our spawn. And I'm like, that doesn't give you enough coverage for like what we need to be doing on the front. So just play glass with me, and we'll rotate if I need to pop crab. Um, so I think with him not taking snipe there, the left side was fully unpainted, so I could have just went left and painted and then ran up because he was watching front.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it definitely was the case. I mean, if we go, I can guarantee you, if we go look at this, like not only do you have quite a bit of the left, I mean they still painted the left, but this right side up top there is completely neglected. Like you guys all just kind of use the same path to come out. You don't necessarily need to paint in base for crab. You can do it where you're standing right now, but that would involve not doing what you're doing here, which is you're painting over and you are standing in the exact same spot this entire time, and it's just not much is getting done other than exactly what you're trying to do here, which is just paint like the bottom left corner of zone and what's in front of you. So like I just think a lot more can be done here, with like both where you're painting and also where you're standing. Like you could be moving to maybe take more space on left. That way you are like maybe more prepared to help fight something. Like it again doesn't need to be like in zone, but it can still be like at least a little closer to where you want to be ideally. And if you're setting up for a crab here, you could be up on right glass.
where should I position? If Pen's like hard shipping that area out, where should I position at then? Because the like obviously UV's watching their pen as well, but I feel as though like the big thing I struggle with on this map especially is when we're getting hard contested like that, I always worry about popping my head out and like getting chipped out by like anything with longer range. So like it's one of those things where it's like with how little space we have on the zone and like I just take do I just take the left strip there outside of zone?
Yeah, you can. I think so. It again comes down to what your teammates want. It seems like from what you were saying that it was going to be more geared to fighting at the start in the first place, which would tell me that you should be looking for either chip on the right or for like some space on the left. If you want to go for crab here, like I would start at the very beginning. I would either paint far right here, like up top on right and stuff, or I would paint starting right here, like the right side, and then maybe a bit of like the left drop as well. Like I'd be painting all that. But like here, you have enough time to get crab here. I think before any major play happens. Like 11, 12 seconds, you're probably going to be like 90% to crab if you play this like properly. The only really like, I guess maybe we can go into recon and show you exactly what I mean. But like the reason you're not getting crab quick enough, or you don't think you're getting crab quick enough to like help with Artemis's play here, for example, is because you are like painting over the same stuff that a lot of people are, and that you are like yourself as well. Whereas if you're painting over space that isn't taken yet in mid, like that'll help you get crab so much quicker than you are currently, at least. Because Artemis's play here could absolutely be followed up with a crab, like even before the play is made, it can happen. And I'll show you. I guess I'll show you what I mean after this game or so, or something like that. Same sort of thing. Like notice how this entire time, 30 seconds, we're still in this position that we've been in this entire time. It's not good. Now, sometimes you might be forced to, but I don't think in this case you were forced to do so. Like here is a case where, yeah, we're pretty much forced to be in this position. You can look up maybe a little more for this wiper left. This looks perfect to me. Oh, okay. You get very close to killing them. I think that that could probably be a kill too.
Yeah, I was just worried about the whale. I'm not gonna lie, I was just worried about the whale.
Makes sense. But like now is a great time to be looking for something like this, which you're doing. This is great because like they're looking to keep like bringing in the momentum and you know, pushing forward, and like that's exactly what, you know, this wiper's trying to do. It's exactly what the gal's trying to do. You're in a great position here to just kill the wiper right here, and you do get very close to doing so. It's just a little rough. But now at this point, let's see, can't really help Artemis there. I agree with this. Okay, it could help a little more with the hammer though.
Yeah, I was worried he was gonna throw it at me from how far away I was. It was like over there. I think two will get it. So
this is not bad. Yeah, this is good. Okay, again, notice though we still have been in the same position. I really don't like how much we're playing this position. And like it puts you in such a spot where, okay, after you've played this position for so long, like it'll get you into the spot where you just kind of have to keep playing this position. Like at this point, because you've played it so much, you haven't really expanded where you're going and stuff. Like you'll notice that then you actually do have to play this position, and it sucks even more. Because you're really limiting yourself by that.
And I guess that's because, so when you say that, you have to play the position. Is it just because if you try to rotate at any point after that, like you kind of just get expected to pre-fire at that point, or like
not entirely sure what you mean. Like I can show you, for example, what like when you can move versus when you can't move from that position, or I guess if that's what you mean.
I guess, yeah, it can, yeah.
So, like the way I see it here is you have this, right? The strikes come out, but these are like they're wasted strikes. They're wasted strikes because their team is 2 down. You have the opportunity here, absolutely 100% to move forward. Even with Artemis down here, I think you can still make space on left.
Okay.
With the wiper. It's after this though, like we still, like even after Skaboop gets the kill here, notice how we have no ink to move in. And at around this point, you have locked yourself into playing this spot still. Because look at where the gal is, right? Like now you can't move. And so now at this point, like you've played this position so much that now you have to keep playing it. And so again, nothing is gonna be done here. Actually no, you'd get the kills. So never mind, the gal made a mistake.
No, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I guess you're putting yourself in a position that I don't think you have to be putting yourself in. And again, like still here as well, you could absolutely be helping with the fight on left. Now it's way too late though. Your crab is... I mean, it does what it can for like what you were given, I guess, so that works. Okay, I like that we're looking for this gal and the wiper. You should be helping Artemis with this fight on the left. Or expand. Okay, expanding to right is also good. Like, at least here now we have the thought process of, okay, we need to move forward. But I guess ideally you're helping Artemis here, which you do end up looking at. Oh, why don't we... Okay, they jumped out. Okay.
A jump out.
Yeah.
Because he had no paint and like...
Yeah.
They had no paint. It was like, okay, like if he just stays there, that's just a throw because we could just check the map and just rush him if he does, but he knew he was gonna jump out.
It just didn't look to me like they were gonna... They were jumping out, at least just yet. But you probably got like a call or something that they were jumping out, or I just like didn't look properly. Okay.
Yeah, we knew they were gonna...
Yeah, they're jumping out. Okay. So, this is all good. We aren't looking... Okay, we are looking for it. This is fine. Again, back to the spot though. Like, this is really bad. Right here is really bad. It's really bad because, again, we're limiting ourselves, but also like, look at where your team has to play because of where you're playing this, right? I'll show you in a second. Your pen is on the left. They have to be on the left pretty much, right? But because both you and your pen are left here, and you come back to this spot, like, look at where your entire team is. Your entire team is funneled to this left side, basically because of where you're playing right now. Or a lot of it is because of that. And the only way that these guys can get any value out of you here is through this stamp and, like, chucking it all at, like, 3 or 4 of you right now. Or, like, running through like this. So this is bad because, like, again, you're just limiting yourself and you're making it easier for the enemy team to push you, and push your team like this. Now, I don't think they should have. I think they should have just thrown the hammer because, like, you know, there's 4 like targets for them, but like this could have gone a lot poorer than it did. So yeah, I think here you just like you literally play right zone, crab right zone, if you want. Or like at least look more towards the right. We get into this position. This is okay. There's not much chip. I think a lot of it is because you are using the crab pretty far back here as well.
Dude, where would I want to play? Where would I want to play it at? Do I want to play it off like maybe the black block, black left block, or should I like?
I think that's so. I wouldn't aim for that as being the first like thing to consider because of where the hammer is.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'd be moving right at least, like, yeah, at least while the hammer's out, I'd be moving right because again, you don't want to be like all stacked into that left side with the hammer there. Like, this is bad. So I'd be moving right onto the glass where you are right now, and then this crab just needs to be a little further up. And I wouldn't even be afraid to drop off of the glass here once you notice that you're not chipping anything. Like here, we just need to keep moving up, maybe even roll. Okay, you do drop off the glass. It's just like it's too late though. The crab was just popped a little too far back on glass, just by a bit. If you want like full use out of this though, this entire like play, I think I'll show you where you move right. Right here. So notice too, right? Your pen has this left side, and because this left side is being held by the pen, you have no business being here really. Like everything that you are doing right now is covered by the pen. And that's like, to me, that's signaling that you should just move right. Because the only way that they're pushing in right now is from the stamper play that's about to happen, and then also from this right side, which is where they inevitably get in from here with the gal coming in and everything. So if you are just right side of the zone, or yeah, honestly just right side of the zone, like you will do more with crab here as well. Because, you know, it's a little further up. But again, so now, like, if we look at this, right, you've put yourself in a position where okay, our crab was not in a good spot to deal with really anyone in front of us. So we have no chip going on to the person that we're looking to fight here, which is the Gal, right? Like, look, we have no chip on the Gal. Skaboop is going in. Skaboop sees that you're pressuring the Gal with the chip, but probably doesn't know that you haven't done any damage to them. And by the time they drop here, like your crab was useless to like chipping the Gal and everything, and because of that, like your fight against the Gal here is so much worse than I think it needs to be. And like this is just like pure disadvantage for you at this point because of that. But great kill. You bring it back. But like if the Gal's playing right, like you should be losing that fight, and it's all because of it's again because I think we're limiting what we can do based on the plays that happened before we push in with usually the crab, right?
Okay.
Again, you could be taking space right.
Mm-hmm.
Your team is still all funneled left, like I said. Crab here is great. Chip, yep, good. Perfect. Okay, don't back up though. There's no reason for us to back up here. Again, literally the same thing. Like, you have made an opportunity for yourself, and if you back up here, like, you're just wasting the opportunity that you've given yourself. You have a great kill here with the crab. The Gal is forced to play up because otherwise like if they back up, you're chipping all three of them at once, and because of that, like that just forces them into a fight that they should not be taking, and they lose. And then now, like, your team has advantage. They can move forward on the left, they can move forward on the right, like, but again, here, notice how you can't really help with the fights at this point because you've hesitated so much. You've kept playing back, I guess. So like Artemis has zero help here, when Artemis should at least have a burst bomb at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we were just trying to get paint back to get a larger penalty off of the crab, and we should have just helped with the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I called the UV, like, I think we can outpaint this, and then because they just jumped right back in, we didn't have enough time.
Okay, I think this crab is also pretty far back.
Back, yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay. I mean, I guess the good news about this though is that like a lot of things can go better for you if you just make this one change, I think. And be more open to playing more than just one angle the entire time. Like I think your gameplay will, even if you do die in some of these scenarios where you might move right, you might move left, wherever it is, right? Even if you do die in some of those scenarios, I think your like both team play and just like the amount of like just things you're doing will just improve by a ton if you are taking more angles than just this angle. Like I think it'll be just a big fix in general if we are more open to taking other stuff.
Yeah.
But like I don't think there's too much else for this game to really talk about other than that, because like everything else, like I think everything basically comes down to that actually for the most part.
Yeah. I think after this we have the same issue again where like a big reason why I kept playing choke is because I'm so used to, like, the problem I have on Ribbo a lot is people will take right glass, or like they'll sit underneath the right glass and just try to like rush you down the second you try to pop your head out. And I was aware they were not there, but I was still playing it really safe for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. And I think they do it at the end, and that's why we get locked out, is that they just take that position immediately. It's like, okay. Which is really unfortunate. But
yeah, I mean, the thing is that, yeah, like you said, there are times where there's no one there, and that's the time, at least like if you are questioning about any time to move there, if no one is there, or like the enemy team is not pressuring it like an insane amount, you know, you might have like a little bit of You might be pushed back a little by the pen or something, but like that's like normal. Uh, but like other than that, if no one else is really there, then that should be a signal to move. Just take the
No, I understand.
space. You have a crab here though. This can still be really good. Okay, your team gets funneled. I mean, you get a good kill. There's not really anything you can do here. Just 2 down. Oh, the strike. Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, the strike was underneath. I think was like at a weird angle where it was impossible to see the.
Okay, hold on though. You guys still somehow get a chance here. Okay, help this fight with Skaboop.
Yeah, I think I just back out of that, and that's probably what loses the game there. Yep, strike, whale.
Yeah, because now everything is out. You guys like even if it looks like a bad fight in this case, maybe it is a horrible fight to go for, but you're at overtime. Like there's no room for hesitating at this point. Oh, I can't even go back because the game is like over, I think.
Yeah.
No, but like even
Yeah.
if the fight is absolutely horrible, like you have to take the fight. At least at this point, you have to. You absolutely have to.
Yeah,
Because then this happens. So that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think me just staying in that choke there screwed us because like they literally dumped everything into
Yes, that
just
too.
rushing. Okay, and, like the
Yeah.
game's over at that because they hammered, wailed, and striped the choke. I'm like, okay.
Right. It's not even. It's not even that. Like it's not even just that time too, right? Like think about it this way: anytime you put, or anytime you're stacking with the pen, or you're stacking on like the choke where everyone's going to be playing, you are basically giving their specials more value. Like you saw when the strikes came out, a lot of times like you would have to be backed up because of that. Like so is the rest of your team that's going to be playing in that choke, right? So it's really rough, especially also because you are like you are also kind of contributing to their specials being more impactful than they really should be on your team, I guess. And that goes with the whale. Like that goes for every special that they have. It's also a thing where you'll see a lot of JP players, like specifically, they will try to take the fight off of zone as much as possible because um, if you put like a crab on zone, you put honestly any special, even like cooler in some situations. If you put like one of those specials on zone, not only is the team impacted, but the zone is impacted too. You know, so having it be 2 separate things where you have to maybe fight 2 people on the side or something before the enemy team can get to zone. Like that makes it 2 steps instead of 1. It makes it harder for them to retake. So I think that's actually also like a big thing about why like you saw, or maybe you didn't see, but in SWS, the Splat World Series, a lot of the teams a lot of the NA teams would lose by they would just barely lose, and a lot of the time I think it came down to that sort of thing where we are much more likely to just be playing on zone at any point during the match, like just in general, because that's where our holds like usually stem from. Whereas like Japanese players a lot of times will be moving up, trying to take the space, but not dying, more like just holding the space they can and trying to get fights off of zone as much as possible. And it's something that you might have not have seen before, but if you go and look at like, I don't know, VODs of maybe SWS, something like that, you'll notice like a lot of the times that those players are going to be moving outside of the zone as much as possible, or like at least trying to take fights a bit off of zone. And it's because we're trying to limit how much special impact, or how much impact the specials have on the enemy team. And a lot of the same can be said about your situation here, where maybe you're not on zone, but you're in a high like condensed area with a lot of people, and you're not making it anything easier on yourself by sitting in the choke the almost the entire time. So yeah.
No, I get you. But the big thing for me, at least, is Robo Ramen is a really hard map to play off of the zone on, because anything that's like in tight scenarios where you want to be contesting the zone, there's so little area for you to move
Right.
around. the zone is 90% of the mid, and anything that's off of left or right drop is pretty much irrelevant outside of for like your aggressive weapons that are gonna be playing those positions. That's like the big thing for me with that map in general, and that's why I think funnel into that bad mindset of just consistently staying in that choke.
Right.
And I definitely need to.
It's
But then
it's elevated almost like Flounder is, except if it was like better, I guess.
yeah,
So
if it was Flounder, if it was good, Flounder, if it was good. That's true.
yeah.
Not too much on Flounder.
No, no, more than enough on that map.
No. Not biased at all. Not biased at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I know.
This match is against really good players.
Yeah.
Oh god. I hate the
I
comp.
think this. Yeah. I can't remember if this one was like a full knockout or if we just got really close or what happened here.
I forgot. 1 second. Let me show you. I'm going to show you what I mean. Now, it's not the same thing as... It's not the same thing as, like, in an actual game where you are... What was I going to say? Where you are, like, you know, you might have to overlap some paint with like, your pen or something, but I want to show you... I'm going to show you my main rollout on Ramen real quick. Because I think it can help. And I think you should absolutely practice some of, like, especially the important maps like Zones Ramen. The more popular ones, you should practice the rollouts on those maps as much as you can. Or not as much as you can, but at least a bit. That way you have a better idea of, like, or something you can go to every time. But this is what I'll do. So if I'm painting for crab and base, like, I'll just do this, and then that, and by the time I reach the glass, like, I have crab ready, and it's been 12 seconds. So, you know, you have time. Like, I really do think you have time, but you can notice the difference. Let me show you again. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna do one showing, like, basically what you did, right? And how it was different. And then I'll show you, like, what I would do if I was you. So you were here, you probably painted, like, actually quite a bit of this. And then by the time you got to zone, like, you were just, it was just this the entire time, like, nothing else was being painted. Whereas if I was rolling out, I would come here. You could, like, if the pen's painting this, you don't have to paint this, you can. Your other option is to just go like that real quick, or you could go down here, throw like a burst, get a bit of this. The important thing though is that you do have angles other than just the zone here. Like, the zone is important to paint. You can paint it as much as you need to, but don't do it any more than that, really, because your goal here was, I guess, you know, if there wasn't a push, you wanted to crab at least at a decent time. So like, try to look for other opportunities for, like, places to paint, you know, things like that. That's all. Okay. I guess the most optimal thing to do, at least from, like, what I've seen, is to go out towards mid and then paint, like, the sides from mid, like I demonstrated in the second one there. But, like, if you want to paint spawn, it's fine too. Like, that guarantees you crab at least. Whereas if you're painting, if you're rolling out super quick to mid, like, you might meet a bit of like pressure from like a gambit user or whatever it might be, honestly. So, like, but there's different things you can do. It's not just one thing either, where, like, I should always be painting for crab and base or anything like that. And you can do the same sort of thing here. Like, it goes for every single map. But, like, notice, well, look at where you paint here. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Where you haven't really chosen an option. So, because you do have, you basically have 2 options, right? You could paint the base, or you could paint more front. You take, actually, on this map, you do take, I'll give you some credit here, you do take a lot more paint, like, to the sides than you did on Ramen. But as you go into mid here, like, notice this, you are not really contributing to too much paint other than strictly what's in front of zone here. again, like a bit more left, you can paint, or you could keep painting a bit more right. Both are like decent options. I would say painting front is also like not bad here though. It's just that there isn't too much pressure. Like you notice how their gal's down, they already have like crab up. Like no one's really, they're not contesting zone exactly. They're more contesting the players, and because of that, there's not really too much for you to paint just yet. And that leads to an 18-second crab. Whereas instead you could probably paint a little more sides here. But you also did kind of a mix where like you both painted spawn and also like the sides of mid. And I think that's why yours is a little delayed here. So if we're going for something like this, just a little more optimization can go a long way. I think you can easily get like probably like a 15-second crab here. Right around when theirs comes out, actually. But I like this though. I think this is great. What you've done so far is great, Chip. Look at your map if you aren't there. Make sure you keep hitting your opponents. Okay. Go ahead.
I've been using the map a lot in my crabs, a lot more after we talked,
Nice.
and it's been helping.
Especially after like chips for 80. If you don't know where they are, they're hiding, like map time. Here, your only real mistake is not taking the blaster as seriously as they actually were. So like here they're just diving you, like they're coming in, your camera isn't really looking at them, and you get punished for it. Okay, this, no need for the burst bombs here, that's why you die. It's as simple as that. Okay. It also like I feel like maybe I said this before, I don't really know, but it makes them more aware of your presence, like that you're looking at them. When you throw a burst bomb, it's like a warning sign. So the only time you can really throw a burst bomb is if it's just purely for chip, or if it's like to end a fight. I would try as much as you can to limit your use of it when starting fights. Like sometimes it makes sense. In this case, I don't think that's one of those times. You only really want to start a fight with burst bomb when the enemy is either like super distracted, like just not going to be looking at you at all by the time you come in, or when you're like dropping on someone. Those are really the two times that you're using burst bomb specifically to start a fight, I guess. Otherwise, it's just chip for teammates usually. Sometimes you can go in off that. Okay, this is good. I mean, I'm fine with this. It gets stuff done. Your team has 2 specials to use too. Strikes are on zone. Notice how their crab is on zone, right? Because their crab is on zone, not only do they die, but the zone is painted too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean by like crabs should not be placed on zone unless it's like, you know it's not going to be contested, for example, or I don't know, other things like that.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, I think you're really out of the fight here as well. You're not looking too much on the right side, which is like, it's now is the perfect time to be looking a little more right, because that's where your teammates are trying to play for, like trying to team fight against. Like notice the bubble here. The bubble is not only to get the decav in place, but also to give just the entire team more of a control of zone, and then you proceed to not focus zone, which is what we're like, I guess, aiming for here. And like I said, right now this fight against this gal becomes a lot harder because we made a poor play here where instead of like helping our teammates front and like trying to contribute to what's going on, I guess, in like the contested area, we've done something else. And now instead of taking this gal in like honestly a 3v1, it becomes a 1v1. And so this is gonna be a lot tougher for you, even if you do get the kill, than it has to be.
Oh, okay. I'm so sad I didn't get the pen there.
Yeah, I really like this, but I mean, but it's just I think you could have done a lot more with just the shots there, the chip. The pen was super open. Okay, we have to just back up here. You grab Polar and back. This is a great fight, actually. That's great. It's kind of like the ramen game where I said, you know, you can be looking for picks as they come in, especially if you're well prepared. There, you were well prepared. You knew what you wanted to do. You looked for the gal, saw it, and killed them. That was great. Really good. So I guess the only real critique about these two crabs that you've had on Snipe are that they are maybe a little disconnected from what the team is going for. Like the team isn't really there to push. You can see it really well in this one, where like no one has secured basically anything on right yet. There's like no enemies on the right pretty much. And so notice like now your crab is it's almost over at this point. Your team has taken the space that they should have taken when you started crab, and now like things are going to be a little messy because, you know, they're still going to be trying to push, use the momentum off your crab, but by the time it's over, like it's gonna be a little messy because it was early. So this is just going to be also harder for you now.
Okay.
Because now, like, look, right, we haven't had zone yet. We have to still retake. Like this is still basically a full retake for us. It's almost like, because our crab was used early, it's almost like we didn't have a crab. Yeah, because the enemy could have just backed up from just pressure. So yeah, we haven't retake still, or at least capped. Looks like you're going for that now. It's good. Look for this blaster. Great. You get picked off, but I think this is a good fight. The only thing I have to say about this is you are, like, I do notice not even just the ramen game, but also the umami game and this game is you are still defaulting to the same like position. Like you come back to this position a lot, just like you did on umami, where you were trying to play like close to the box, I would say, around that area, and like that can be fine to do sometimes. It's just when you keep coming back here, you're missing a lot of opportunities, and this is one of them where, because you brought yourself so far back into a position that you're like used to going back to, it means that you're not well prepared for this fight. Because like, look, right, we could have most definitely, like, you had a little bit of pressure on you from left, but you did not have to give up too much of far left. Or if you really like had to move here, or not here, but if you really had to move when this crab comes out, like around here or so, you just back up a little more, back like left, like right here or so, and you are completely safe here, other than to the blaster who's coming forward. But you would also have a much better time against the blaster if you were left here. And not only that, but again, you are stacking on your pen, and that's something to think about too, because you know, you're putting yourself in a position where not only are you being pressured, but your pen is being pressured too. It's like the same thing with the ramen choke point, except this is not, it's not a choke point, but it's still happening.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing too, where again, the map takes up like 90, like the zone takes up 90% of the map, so it's like I always feel really nervous playing chokes on Barnacle, because there's so little space to move in the case of specials, and with them having a crab and having an S blast that could just run you down in those chokes, it's one of those things where it's like, definitely should have tried to play there just so that I could get people off UV's ass, but also like I don't want to necessarily play on zone, because of the whole issue in regards to dying on zone makes it a lot easier for them to get control. But we lose people faster anyways. That's like, I probably should have just went for it.
I don't think you need to play on zone here. I think you need to save as much as your position as you can while still actually having a position here. When you're back over here, like, it's not even just the blaster that's going to have a better time like dealing with just you and your team in general. It's also the crab, for example. It's the pen. Like everyone, when you're this like close to your pen in this sort of scenario where they're pushing you, everything becomes a lot harder. Whereas if we're even if we're just a bit further off zone, like I think you basically just back up a little too much here, is what I'm trying to say. Like you can still be playing closer to zone, and I don't think you need to be as afraid as you are of this whale and the crab combo. Because again, we're looking to get as much of this as much out of this as we can, and the only way we can even do that in the first place is by still like contributing to the zone here, I guess, and also just the left side where you were originally playing. And this fight just goes a little too poorly because I think we get hit by the blaster where we do. That's all. Okay, I like that we don't crab there.
Yeah, we crab forward, but I mean, they're not in position to watch here, so.
Right, there's someone.
Yeah,
behind.
I hear the flank and turn around. I probably should have just kept looking forward. They weren't looking at it.
I think what you did is fine.
Okay.
You had a this is a pretty decent crab. You didn't know that there was someone flank or behind until like you did have to kind of look at them. So this all makes sense to me. And it works out. Like this is still a position that you guys can do something in. Now, not so much.
Not so much now.
I think we should be looking to take the right. Looks like we are. That's good. We're setting up crab snipe. Main thing here is, so again, you are really slow to your goal. So it doesn't become clear to me that your goal is to get crab and put it snipe until right around like here or so. Maybe a little beforehand, but I think in general though we are still like extremely slow to get crab in the position that we want to get it in. You'll see like it should have been decided what you were gonna try to do right around, let me show you, right around here where we were 2 down. Like you either here start painting for crab like a lot just for like pure retake, or you go move right. It's one of the two. And now you do, like, it is kind of obvious now to me that you are trying to paint for crab, but I don't think it's as fast as you could be going for it.
Yeah.
And because of that, like it's small, but it makes a difference because now they have crab up. You know, they've been like kind of waiting to pop it, and they pop it just a little earlier than you did, and now they have quite a bit of an advantage over you in this scenario, I think, because they pop their crab first just by a bit. And then the only other thing here is like we have to look for chip right there on where the blaster is, but that's difficult. I like this. Trade is unlucky. Okay, but we get it. Still have an opportunity here. Great chip. We should be looking to play with the bucket. That's what we're doing. Great. See, this is very different to me. Like this hasn't happened in either of the two past games until this point.
Yeah.
And I really like it because like you're helping your team get some space here. I think like the only thing I really have to say about this though is you are maybe a little too far forward for where your team is, but like it still works out for you, and your team is basically there, so it's fine. But like notice the advantage that you've given you and your team now, right? Now they don't have to take this fight on left without you because you're there. And not only that, but you also have crab very soon in a much better spot than having to play like back like to the right here, which seems like you're actually going to. We should talk about this too actually then. So The reason I say this is so nice for you is because you have the opportunity here to crab further up. You have the opportunity to back up right here, directly behind you, and crab on like the snipe. And that is a super, it's just a super powerful position for crab to be in. So I think that's what we should be looking for here. You, again here, kind of default back to playing more of like a passive crab when you can still play like a safe semi-passive crab while being a lot further up in this case. But like the important thing here is that you are going for safety, and you can get safety on this left side as long as you get crab quick enough there, and you absolutely could have.
Do you think I could have played it on mid in this instance here because they don't have the space up yet?
I think so. My only issue with that is that we like it's on zone, but also like that it's just exactly where they're going to be pushing from. That's my only real issue with it. Like when you put the crab on zone here, even if they don't have specials, like it becomes like almost infinitely easier for them to just target like most of the team at once. And that gives them better positions than you. In some cases, it might still be worth playing, especially if they don't have anything to move you. Like here, they don't really have anything to move you. You know, if they start pushing in, maybe we pop crab mid. That's okay. I think though that you should have just stayed upper left, and like if you wanted someone to clear right, like you tell your pen to do that, or like tell someone else to do that instead of you going there yourself and doing it. Because like one, look at how much paint there is to paint on left, and two, like look at where they push in from. Notice how they have this entire left side, and the fight happens on left. It doesn't happen on right where you are.
Yeah.
And if it did happen on right, it would be much better for your team as well, even if you're not there. So now, right, we've had at this point in the game where I'm rewatching right here. From here on, as soon as you back up, right here, we are basically giving them this left side. So instead of making them fight for it nearly as much as they should have for this position, like the gal just comes up, the gal gets a pick, and they have left side, like they just do at this point. Like the enemy team, or yeah, I guess just ideally, like you want them to be fighting for this left side first, rather than always bringing the fight to zone. Again, so yeah, I just think crab upper left would help you guys a lot here, because then again it's two fights instead of one. It's two things that the enemy needs to do instead of one. They don't just need to fight on zone and cap zone, they need to fight off of zone and then go to zone and also cap it too. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. The big thing I always worry about is clustering on my teammates. I know I could probably just play a different angle on stack and not really have to worry about that, or left side. It's just, I don't know. Like when I see my team fighting up there, I'm always like, okay, I want to like play off them, but I'm also really worried about clustering them with like a blaster or something, like especially with the AoE they have on their team. And I oftentimes crab back because I think that it's often a good way to stabilize if something goes wrong in the front, when in reality chances of something going wrong in the front is a lot less if I just play forward. Like I get what you mean though, like completely. It's just one of those things that I think I internalize a lot more than I probably should.
I get that too. I do think sometimes it is better though to back up, like especially if the enemy team has like an overwhelming number of specials, you know. Maybe it just simply is better for you to back up, but in a lot of scenarios we should at least try to play up, unless like the timing is just wrong. Like if they already have a lot of the space up, then yeah, you can back up. But like in that case, you had just won a great fight and you were in position to crab, and we gave it up basically. And like worst comes to worst, if you notice that, you know, your entire team is stacking on one position, but you do have a good crab spot in that position, like you can super easily tell one of your teammates to just go play go play right instead of left because like you have a cover with crab. Like that's totally valid reason to ask them to play on another side, you know. It shouldn't always, it doesn't always have to be you moving for them, I guess.
Okay.
But like look at this, right? They've had this splashdown for how long now? Like 20-30 seconds. They never had to use it up front, and now like they've gotten through. Hey, look, they have splashdown here. They've gotten through all of zone without having to burn the splashdown at all. They can just hold it. They can hold it here. Like crab gets used, sure that kind of is like necessary from them, but they have so much more momentum because we didn't take the fight to them, I guess. And like here now we go down because of it. And like this becomes again infinitely times harder for us to do anything off of. And yeah, you do have to just kind of jump out here at this point. We maybe have one more retake if we're quick about it. Even this isn't quick enough though, like it's over at this point.
Yeah.
We would just have to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I would have went in on the front there, we got the 2 picks somehow. If I just ran in, we've been fine. I wanted to set up crab and hopefully get some chip in because I thought we were gonna take plat fast. We weren't gonna take plat that fast. I was like, oh, we did immediately, so it's on me.
Okay, another Umami game.
There's, I think, a here that I forgot.
There's a what?
I think there's a 3rd one in here. I'm
Oh.
not even gonna.
Okay.
I may have not put it in here though because it was weird. Same thing. Bad optimization.
Yeah, I think it's maybe from what I've seen so far though, it's at least a bit better than the first game.
Yeah, because I think.
But it is slow. Like, look at what they do here. We should actually just watch them. Who's on splash here? Okay. So notice they're not painting anything that the team has really painted until now, at least, and they're already basically a crab. We go for the zone, and look at how far up they are. They can just play this right side. Their crab is out. Like, not only have they taken so much more space than you, their crab is out at 14. You get your crab now, like 2 seconds later, and that's the difference here. Like they're in a much better spot, even with the blaster down. Honestly, they still lose this though. So, but they are in a better spot here. Like they have advantage with this crab position. Like what the crab does here is good.
I think this is the first time I've seen. By the way, I have played this game for God knows how many years. I've never really seen people take that block ever, and I've watched replays and everything. I've seen people. I just never watch people take that block, and I've like after watching them play this thing, I've been trying to play the block more, but like it's so like it's just weird because like I watch Schuman's VODs, I watch players that play Splash, and I've never seen them take that block. It's just such a strange thing. I don't know why. But
They should look at this because I take this block. I take this block more often than I don't. Like the block the crab's on. It's I guess it's something that we'd have to look at replays for or not replays, but go into recon to show you exactly why. But basically, like look at your team here, right? Your team has basically no. They're not contesting the left zone at all at this point. Even here, still no contesting left at all. So like, why not? Why not have the crab play further up, right? Because you have the space, you can do so. And it's not like you guys are going to be able to stop it here. Same thing goes for the right side too. Like you could do the absolutely the same thing on the right side. And that's usually the block I'm playing for is the right, or well, I guess in your case, the left block. Like I'd be playing for where the crab is right now, except yeah, they're on the right side from their perspective, so it's a little weird. But yeah. I would, in general, if I play for a block, usually it is this left block. I'll actually, you know what? No, we're gonna go into recon after this, so I can show you what I do sometimes, because it really does, like that. Those kind of crab plays do throw people off. And it's good. And like Schumann doesn't do it all the time, but you will see, like, I have seen him take other off angles, especially on opening, before for like other maps. Maybe not so much Umami. I think he fights more on Umami at the start most of the time, but
Yeah.
It can be map dependent too. I'll show you after though what I do. Okay, so but like from the opening though, like I think the opening so far was still a lot better than the first Umami game. Like we have a lot better like just control of the situation we were in, even with them having crab up. Like you still had a great pick on their crab. Like you kind of knew what to do there, so that was good. And so far the rest of this, not too much else has happened, but like we're in a good position here at least. You look to help with that fight, just good. Okay, this is good too. We get crab in a great spot. Really early though. And they can just wait. Okay, they didn't even wait for some reason, but it didn't matter. This is also great. I think you should be looking for what you're looking for here a lot earlier than you do. So this whole sequence after this crab, right? You back up.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Go ahead.
I was literally just about to say that.
Yeah. And like from here on out, like we do not need to be painting zone. That's not the point. Or that's not the the thing we should be doing in my eyes. I think we should be fighting this gal or like looking to help front or something. Like you see the decaf take the spot and now you do actually look, but like the gal should not even be in this position honestly. They should be taken out beforehand. But like you still do good here because you like at least at this point we are looking for kills, and that's great. You get a little too aggressive here though. Like you just take the kill on the gal and then you can back up, because remember also your teammates are coming in. Like you see it here, like they're about to basically take this fight. You killing the gal is enough, because the gal being dead means that the enemy team is not going to be able to just straight up run through zone at you guys. So like that's really all you need here, is that gal pick. You can settle after that. Okay, this is bad because we stayed top mid too long. Honestly, this pen should have killed you before the gal did, but they don't. Like, notice how you guys all just jumped the same spot, right? You're stacking on your pen. The pen is aiming at you guys. Like, we're all just still really like clumped together during this time, and you're the only one who really lingers here for any longer, and it gets you taken out because like that's where everyone was looking. Okay. Crab's out. Yeah, we have to respect it. The team knows this though. Okay, close. Crab here makes, I think this crab makes a bit more sense than like the other ones. Because this one, it really isn't just the splash here. So yeah, I get this crab a lot more. I think go ahead.
Like looking at it from like this perspective, like Skaboop or was it Skaboop? Yeah, Skaboop was on decaf here. I feel like I should have just been further up, like, or at least I should have waited a couple seconds for him to get ready to move in, because he was still backed up from the blaster fight coming in after that. But I don't know. I feel like it's iffy. It's iffy.
I think you trying to move here is good. Like you kind of recognize that we do need to move because the blaster's down and only down for so long. And like this crab makes a lot more sense because there's multiple people like kind of in this position. It's not just the splash. Like look at where the pen is, and there's also someone else right next to the pen. And they're all like still right around here. So I think this crab makes a lot more sense. I don't think. I mean, okay, yeah, I'll say it was necessary, honestly. So like, I like this.
Necessary, but I don't know. I think the timing could have been like 2 or 3.
I say it's necessary because I think it also scares the gal out of position, because like otherwise you'd have to fight the gal too probably. And they all start moving back because you pop crab, and like you're pressuring at least one of them. Okay, we cleaned it up at least. It's good. You should be taking some space here. I don't like taking the space top mid. I think you should be playing aside.
Okay.
Like top mid is just, it's just not for you at this point. Is what I'm thinking. Like you have the kill on Gal. This is great. Notice how it's just the pen alive, right? Because it's just the pen. Like the only place you actually are going to be seriously contested is going to be this top mid place, because I can tell you without even looking that they're behind top mid or like around like block or just basically around there, right? And if we were to play aside here as our teammates are jumping into us as they are right now, it gives us a lot more like space to work with rather than what we do here, which is we're still on the jumps, right? Everyone now has to enter from like the same sort of angle because we've taken no space on like the direct side. And our retake here, or like, well, kind of retake here, is going to be a lot worse because like, look right here, right? The blaster has to, or the blaster's playing against two of us in a great position. And it's a lot worse for us because we're so stacked on this angle. So when it's in a 1v1 like this, you just, you don't want to rush them. You don't have to rush them, but you can absolutely take some space here, especially after this Gal kill.
Okay.
That's it. Like you could have, I think the best play you could have made was to just go left side here and play left. Because yeah, like I said, that just gives you guys infinite number of opportunities, or more opportunities. And then okay, I still think, again, we shouldn't really be trying to play for top mid yet. Like your pen has top mid. They can't. There's nothing you can really do there, and you do kind of just sit there. Top mid. Okay, yeah, and we wait too long to crab, so they just push in.
Yeah.
That's it. But at least we have crab for retake now. Okay, we're really far back here too. This is still really far back. Even the strikes are used too far back. Everything about this I don't really like because, like, I guess we're actively clearing the space with specials that we should have been able to take either way. Like, yeah, I'd say this crab, for example, needs to go like right snipe, or maybe you play out left. But here it's bad because you have no targets when you're popping it. Like literally, there's just no one until a little later in. But that's like as your crab is getting contested, or like more contested, I guess. So like it's the same thing here, right? Where our entry is going to be a lot worse because we don't have, like, we didn't pop crab properly, or like in the spot that would have actually, or like really affected them. And because of that, like just everything is tougher, I guess. We basically have to again play for a second retake here when it should have just been one. Okay, I like what we have going on the left. We could probably look there. It looks like you do. I'm happy with this. But yeah, focus the splash first. Okay. Okay, so this is a tougher situation. I think the best thing you could have done was just focus the splash first. They're an immediate threat.
Yeah, I knew that I should focus them, and I tried to like, I put my crab focus on them, but like, I just don't know what happened here. I don't know if it was just because of the blaster running forward that didn't follow up or what. They
just shred you so quickly. Like you should have some crab left over to deal with like the blaster or something.
Yeah, I don't know how they shredded me.
And then this fight, like, this makes sense to me that you try to help. I think you're maybe a little hesitant again to move. Like, you notice how far left you move, and then how like you take some time to paint, and like it's not a full like commit to just like immediately going to help your team. But like that's just a tough spot in general. Like the blaster played that pretty well, so I think that would have been tough for you to win no matter what. Great kills, but yeah, it's over.
Yeah. We've been at this for a bit. We're covering a lot of ground.
Here, I think I want to show you real quick what I'll do. This is I feel like out of all the maps, honestly though, I look the most for like off angles on Umami. Like that's one of the bigger maps that I will do stuff like this. Oh my, okay. Okay then. Where does it even put me? Will it put me back at
Probably
like where you start? Oh yeah, okay. So depends, right? Like the ideally you are able to play like super flexible here, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But like if I open on left on this map, it's always exactly like this. So I will go either the top or like just slightly lower, and then just make sure I paint the rail there, and then come around. And then from here I decide quickly if left is contested enough or if it isn't. And if it's not contested, like crab will go, it'll go up here. I'll paint a little more, but crab will go up here. Because this gives me a ton of sight lines over like anything. And like what that also does is if I tell the team too that I'll be looking to play for something like that, they immediately will know to play for the right, because you know now I have the pinch on anything going on over here. If they try to back up to the choke, I have that too, and the rest of the team can just take the fight top mid here and over here. So that helps a lot. The other thing I will do is like let's say that I roll out and you know maybe I painted this again. I'm on this rail. Let me paint a little bit more for crab. If I see that they are playing a little more for left, I will just go back to this position and then crab over here. And maybe I'll drop down, but I'll at least start with crab up there instead. It's all just based on how contested this left zone is. And then the same thing goes for right. So if I'm rolling out right, usually I'd start up there actually for like base paint, because my crab here is pretty odd. But I will paint like absolutely everything here real quick, and then usually I have a little more. But I would drop down crab and put it here.
Okay,
and like, and again, it's the same exact thing, just maybe a little bit worse because you're coming from the rail and your angles are a little worse onto like everything on the left side. But like it's the same idea where we're getting a lot of off angles. And this is, I'll show you one more because I think this one's really cool. This one is one I learned from Schumann actually. Is on Haggle, instead of just playing on the left side on opening, I will move, sometimes it depends on the enemy comp and stuff, I will play for like the right flank almost. And I actually did it, I can show you it from yesterday's scrim. I did it yesterday. I should actually, let me just show you that instead of doing it in recon. Because
I know what you're talking about, but I want to see it.
yeah. Because I watched it back too.
I saw that angle in the Shadowin video on Crab, and so fucking weird. It is like genuinely. Yeah, I think I know exactly which one you're talking about.
First game of my scrim yesterday. I think Shuin tends to play it with Gambit. I wasn't playing with Gambit here, but like you can still do it without Gambit. Like it's the same sort of thing. But I basically just get crab mostly on this side here. I'm a little slow, but still get it. And like, look at this. Like the leader has no clue what's going on. And so I just have sight lines on everyone trying to back up and everything. I miss a couple shots because it's my first game on, but it still does a ton. You know, they just didn't expect it, so. There's a lot of those type of things. But if you do want to do that, like it starts with like practicing your crab rollouts, as much as you need to, I guess, in order to succeed. All right, if you want to keep going, we can.
I'm down. I mean,
okay. Well then, let's
fine.
just keep going.
We got 2 more games. We can keep going.
Okay.
This was probably the most frustrating game of the bunch, I think, just because like I made a lot of calls in advance, and we kind of just for like a second too late to respond to them on things. It just made me frustrated, but it happens. Like here, I call I think the Karma's gonna run for it because Artemis runs for it the same way every time, and it's really hard to handle that.
I think this opening is a lot better for you, from what I've seen so far.
After I talked about like playing Mincemeat, like I've actually come to like the map a lot more because I feel like Crab is just. I mean, obviously it's a great fucking map for Crab, but like it's opening left on Crab is like really nice. It's just like very it's just generally a pretty strong map.
So here I noticed you stick in the same spot, and I think this one, like this is a time where it makes a lot more sense to do something like this. Like you're kind of essentially an anchor, and you do a lot with the space that you take. And not only that, but you also are like when you come out of this in a second, like here you recognize that now it is time to actually move forward. You don't stick in the space right here. And like that's also really good. The only thing so far though is that this crab is unnecessary, I think. But I mean, other than that, you still get chip off of it. Like the mistake here is one that your crab is like just too early to actually like get any kills, but also like the enemy team is playing into it for whatever reason when they really shouldn't be. So that like helps your crab a bit here. Okay, what an odd hammer.
This entire team was odd as hell because they completely swapped their comp, literally just paint spam just to fucking get Artemis in, and then Artemis is like so fucking jank. I don't really know what the hell happened. Like they all rushed me here.
Yeah,
like,
this is just bad for them. I can see like the only thing from you here is that you clearly don't expect this, but like we have to keep in mind where they are coming from. Like this entire time they're playing this left chuck. I think we should be a little more careful with them going for something like this. Like you can see from even before this how focused they were on you, like with the splashdown 2 and just everything. So I think it would make sense here to be a little more cautious of just this whole left side as you start to back up here.
Yeah, I think I just whiffed on the carpet.
Okay.
I remember like it's calling that they were gonna rush me left, so I dropped and then ran that side. But
because I think like I also think this zone could have been kept too if you were alive. So like it's just super important there that you do live.
No.
We're super close to crab. You should be looking for it.
Yeah,
we do,
kinda.
I don't like this crab, and you're about to see why. Zuka comes out on you. It's not even... Okay. They only really use Zuka on you, but they have hammer, slider, everything ready, and you're on top of zone.
Yeah.
You also don't really have a good target here either. You crab more just to hold the space. Like you know you have to crab here, but you don't really know what you're going for. Like look, you don't there's no one you see immediately. And I also think that's part of the reason why this goes so poorly. Or I can tell at least it's going to go poorly. Wow, it did not go poorly.
I cannot emphasize enough how like really weird this team was. Like I think we literally just lost to one bad misplay. I'm not even lying. It's just... Of course, I see that he's dropping there. Yep.
Okay, well, love the fight. It's just it should have been cleaned up a lot quicker than it was. Like you should have. You probably could have had this with the first 2 shots that you shot at them. Like you could use your burst to finish the fight, or even like just commit a little harder to this because like this carbon does need to go. You're just a tiny little bit too late here.
Yeah, I
like
saw
this.
the clicks. I saw the clicks of me hitting him, and I tried to rush it, but then he dropped, and I had to like turn around, and I lost so much space.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was gonna say, there's still someone below you. I could see because of the chip that happens. I don't know if you saw that. Right.
Maybe not.
Well, I'll show you. It's really hard to see because like you probably think you're chipping the other person, but they're dead. Look, so right here, chip. Okay, wait. I might be crazy. Hold on. I swear I heard chip before.
No, I know exactly what you're referring to because I couldn't tell either. It was fucking so strange. It was so weird.
Let me see this one more time. Oh no, they're not. Okay, no, they swim up after. Never mind. Sorry, I'm going crazy.
Like it sounded like there was though, because I remember that. Like I was like, what the fuck? I even called that he's there. Like I see that he's there. I'm like, okay, there he is. I was like, I called it to them. I knew he was there. Just the chip was so fucking strange. I was like, it's so weird.
It's good that you clear him out. This is good. Okay, we are not really playing for as much space as we can be. Like where this person's dead is where we should be. A lot earlier than where we are. It's just again like you can see probably right around here where you just have 2 teammates in front of you and you're just right behind them and there's not much being done. Like right after this carbon dies, look at how we play this, right? We're all here left. We still are here left. We're still here left. We're still here left. At this point, it's been like 10 seconds. We can rotate a lot quicker. And kind of mix it up a lot quicker.
Okay. Yeah.
And even here, like I think even here we're pretty far back. Like you wouldn't want to be popping crab up front of this truck, but you could definitely be playing a little further up until you get crab.
Yeah.
Because like we're just not contesting them. Like that's just it. Doesn't seem like your goal is to contest them, but I think you should at least be trying to provide pressure, rather than just painting zone. Like you can both paint zone and like pressure at the same time, I guess. Okay.
I called that carbon was on right, by the way, and got ignored. And then they said, "Oh, why'd you call it?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I was so annoyed.
Who said that?
Minty.
Yeah. Okay.
Minty. Like, okay. We were really frustrated with this set because like it's like 3 weeks into comp. He's just really fucking good for starting out. Minty was like very passive aggressive to bro, and like it was their first time interacting, and I was like, this set sucks ass. I want out.
Yeah.
Like, this is not.
I think it's not just this time either. You tend to be very slow to chase. Like I can tell you are thinking about like a lot during these sort of scenarios where like it's clear that you're kind of maybe hesitating to move in or anything. But yeah, if you remember, I said earlier, that Splatoon is a game about making like just the best decisions you can, but it's also about making those decisions as quickly as possible. And a lot of the times there's not room for hesitating, and like this is one of those where I think you could have killed like the carbon both earlier in the game and right here, as well as like another example is the gal on Umami towards the end. There's just quite a few of those scenarios where I think you are maybe hesitating a little too much. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I just waited like 1 second too late.
Yeah.
Here, call the carbon here.
Okay, I mean this is better though, because the carbon's dead and and you are in position to do something here. We just again have to be pressuring up front a little more than we are, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because we're at a point now where like this entire time we've kind of just been sitting in this position, and like at the point we're in when the slider comes out, like now there's nothing we can do about it because we've been just sitting here this entire time. So I think this is a lot of the same scenario about as ramen.
Yeah.
But like on this map, I think it is at least from your position, it is harder to do stuff from. But I don't think that means we shouldn't be trying to look for those plates. For example, I think a good time would be right here. Like you see how Minty is under you. Minty's actively trying to look for something on right. You could be doing basically the same thing just from upper truck, like up above, and you could be looking down. Now Minty does die here, but there is also there was another opportunity a little further back as well. So just like ideally look for times when you notice maybe your team is like they're starting to look for plays, your slayers are they're trying to move in. That's your time to also be taking more space, putting out more pressure.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be sitting here like this.
Yeah, should I just play the floor then?
You can, I mean, if you notice that you're not getting anything done up above, or like you don't see anything good, like you do have two other options. I'd say your first option is to like go down, and I think your second option here is to look more for chip rather than just like immediate like weapon pressure. Both would probably happen from down below though, unless you see something on like the right side of truck. But again, like you're limiting yourself so much that you don't even have an idea of what's going on like below you on the right side by truck, right in this position, and like again, like I said, even further back too. Like you spend probably 30 seconds or so here, and you the entire time you have almost no clue what's going on right below you, so you don't even know if you can make a play for bottom right truck or like in front of you. You just know that like you want to hold this position, I guess. Okay, but yeah, by the time you get moved here, you're just not in a position to do anything against the slider. Like your team needed to make, whether you wanted to or not, your team needed to make a play there, and part of that was on you a little to look for that play, and you just didn't really look for it. Would have helped if Minty didn't die, but like that's just what happened. So.
I probably shouldn't have grabbed here. Because Minty dived way earlier than I thought they would, and then we don't have the paint, and then, yeah.
I think this crab can be okay if you are looking at the fight that's going on the left. Wow, I backed up further than I thought. If you look at the fight left here, like that is your way in. Like, okay, Minty goes down here. It doesn't really matter. At least like, yeah, it really doesn't matter too much because Minty's diving. Minty has time to come back in. What matters though is this fight on left. This fight on left is so much more important because like, look at them right now, right? They are out of position. If this player dies, you guys, one, they're dead on zone. You guys have a much better opportunity because two of your players don't need to look at the enemy anymore. They can just look at zone, right? And also they have no chance of killing whoever Prodigy is. So I think this person being dead like before they even contest Prodigy is so much more important than anything that goes on the right side. Now at this point though, right side's pretty important because we lose the left. But I think you should have been looking towards the left at the start there to make sure that your teammate got in on the left. As soon as you see that Minty's dead there and like they just drop down and feed, like that's your time to look left and like help as much as you can if you're gonna be crabbing to get your teammates in. And it looks like you're maybe just a little afraid of like someone being below and other things that have already kind of been cleared, and then you still like here you're not really looking left, you see them in, you roll back too, so like you miss a shot, And I think that that's just about everything you can do in this scenario, like differently. But at this point, it's lost.
Yeah.
At least anything you can do, there's nothing you can do from here on out.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I just took a shit angle too.
Because I think the rollout of when I was coming in was really hard for me to just go left, and I probably should have just went left off of way earlier into the engagement,
Yeah.
and then just crab left side.
Another.
Left side crab.
Go ahead.
The left side crab on this map is really strong. It
It
probably
is.
would have been just
Right.
better just to play it there.
That's actually what I was kind of about to say. Where notice how during that game, right, you played the right side for quite a while, and nothing really happened. Just based off of that 1 minute alone of you being on the right and like not being able to really do anything, that's to me like, okay, let me tell my pen to move right, and I'm gonna take left instead. Like I'm gonna take their position left because if I can't do anything there, like they might have a better time, and that left side is like where my crab is gonna be most useful because like it's just a better position, I guess, than whatever I had going on right because that wasn't working out for me. So I think if you notice something like that's not working out, going left like you noticed there is a great idea. As long as you also call for your pen to swap.
Yeah.
If you can.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow, that's odd.
What?
We were talking about hold on. We were talking about Vinoct earlier, right? You remember? and they haven't messaged me for like a little over a month now, and then they just asked like just now if I can scrim.
Yeah.
That's odd.
He sucks at communicating. I'm not gonna lie. That tracks. That tracks.
No, but it was just I guess a coincidence that they happened to message me right after we were talking about them a little. Okay, sorry, I was responding to them. Okay, so again, same sort of thing. Like I guess in the openings I can't really determine your goal too well if you are trying to play up front or if you're trying to get crab. I guess I'd assume it's a little more crab focused because of like where you're painting, but it is really hard to tell because like it always seems like a bit of a mix. And
yeah,
and
it
like
always ends up being...
the thing is like a bit of a mix could be good, but not so much in opening because the opening is super like it's just super, it's gonna go one way, either to your team or to the enemy, and like a lot of it is just based off of how quickly decisions can be made and like good decisions can be made, and going with like a mix of both getting crab and like being up front is not like it's not the best, or it's not the most optimal during opening. I would say either be up front, be present in zone, or and you could even get crab from like zone, like kind of from the position you are right now, but you shouldn't again just be painting or just looking in front of you for paint, because you're not going to get crab too quick. You know, you notice 13 seconds, usually you want crab within like 12.
Yeah.
But like I think it's got to be a little more of one or the other, of either like I need to see it super strong, like we're going for crab, and you know, unless someone's like immediately about to contest you, like that's the only time you like really stray away from getting crab. Or the other option is to be super present in the front of zone, like you kind of are right now, but again, like you're going for crab too at the same time. So I'm not too sure what the goal is here, I guess. And I think that's bad.
Yeah.
Only thing here is the crab chip didn't need to be so much right side focused. I think the left could be useful too. You are in a really far back spot though. Like look at how little like resources they have. From your position, the only thing you really see up front that's like kind of threatening is the X-Blow. But I can tell that they are far back. Right after they throw this hammer, they go one down right here. The carbon. who's really their only aggressor at this point in time. Like literally everyone else on their team is behind the Explo, you know. So we can move. We can move up front a little more here, and do a little more with Crab, I think, if we are in a position to do so. But instead, you kind of like, I wouldn't say you back up, but you don't go forward, which is what you could be doing here. So yeah, you don't get as much value as you can, but that's like optimizing. It's like small optimizing, I guess. This is great. We get the pick. We come back ideally. Okay, I don't think we can keep shredding this bubble, just because of how low you are, but you get it done. And you know, there as well is also a time where I think it's really important for us to be playing a little safer, because let me go back a little more. Because like, look at this, right? You get a pick that you weren't really supposed to get as you move through here. Like this dually is supposed to kill you here.
Yeah.
And like you're coming out of it with very little HP too. Like yeah, you're very weak. So I think you committing to this bubble here is risking a lot for your team, because this Carbon is trying to basically get the momentum back by killing you, and if they kill you here, like it's much worse for you than if you just are living. And like the Carbon is doing everything. Also, like if the Carbon is so desperate to kill you too, if you just back up, your team is going to be able to deal with it no matter what. Like you don't need to be fighting this Carbon right now for this Carbon to die in a second, which is what happens. Like they're dead no matter what there, right? So if we just in that sort of scenario, like settle with what we have, you know, don't really try to shred the bubble, I think that will guarantee you the good play, I guess. But you risk a ton there by still trying to shred that bubble while the Carbon was contesting you.
Should I have swung left to shred it if I wanted to stay in?
I think you should have moved. I think in general you should have just backed up or moved right. If you really are determined to shred it, yeah, I guess that's fine. Like that's probably the best thing you can do, at least, because then you're at least a little closer to teammates. Carbon might still be an issue, but it's a little better, I think. Okay, whoa. Let's see. I like this. I don't like this. I'll explain in a second. But yeah, okay. Actually, I'll just explain now. So, it's again a mix of things. So you have two things here, right? You know you're trying to paint for Crab right here. And then you're also looking to help fight this dually, right? And as you do this, you move left. And this is a perfectly fine angle to be taking on the dually. It's also a great angle to be looking to set up a Crab up on left. The problem is that you get rid of this angle almost instantly because you dive for the dually right. And this, at that point, when the dually dodge rolls all the way right, that is no longer your fight. It's no longer a fight because they are simply out of your reach. At most, like there's a burst bomb, but you give up this great position you have here, where a Crab could have easily like held the position for your team, especially after the dually is dead too. Like this could have instantly brought you guys back in if you had a Crab up on left right now. But because you remove this position from just like a possibility here by moving so far right, you lose all of that immediately. And this is something that I think is really tough to see too, though, unless like you're voting like this, because it happens in the moment. But your left position here, like your original goal was to get Crab, so that's what we should stick to, ideally. Just the thought process here. Like you notice that you can't really do too much here other than maybe throw a burst. You already threw your burst. It didn't land. Like that's what you can do. And you have Crab, which was originally goal number 1, and that's just what you should commit to here, I think. Is a Crab. But yeah, because you go to this worst position to try to deal with a fight that's not your problem, at least anymore. Everything just goes immediately poorly. Like the enemy team does a really good job of doing stuff with his dualies even after they're dead, because we're no longer in a position to do anything against them, I guess, because we all moved for that dually. So yeah, the Carbon gets in and we're on respawn, but we do have Crab. So this retake should be pretty quick. Rough, but okay. I like that we're looking bottom. Yep. Carbon as well. This is rough for you. I think
Yeah.
the only thing you personally did little poorly here is I think you did drop right, which I don't like too much. Because again, your team is playing right. You know, like look at where we all are right now. We're all like pretty stacked. The thing is, like, even if you drop left here, I don't think there's too much for you to do. So it's like it's just rough in general. But like ideally the entire team isn't playing on this right side like we are right now. Okay, wow, we still get it done somehow.
Yeah.
That looked very losable. But that's a pattern that you should be trying to break as much as you can. Like if you see that your team is all stacked on you, like try to move out if you can. There maybe it wasn't too easy for you to do, but there are definitely other situations where that's a big thing. I also think this isn't your chip to be going for, honestly.
Yeah.
Like we should look at this one more time. The only thing that is being threatened by the team right now is this left side. Like it's where you're looking. But that's exactly the issue. Is your team is only really able to deal with left right now, and that's what's being dealt with. Everything else on the map right now, the Explo, the Mini on the right, everything else is not being dealt with at all when you pop your crab. Like look at all of us here. We're all looking this guy, the single guy in the corner, and like everyone else is still shooting at us. Like the Mini's there on the right. I don't even know what they're doing, but they look weird right now. And then there's the guy top, and like both are still big issues, but we have every single person here looking here, and we keep looking here the entire time. And by the time we look at a different target, like the damage is done. I think this is also another like really hard thing to find though, as quickly as you need to. Just because it's both because of your positioning and just because of like the state of the game. I think ideally you put crab right here, but like that's the only thing that can really help you figure out that you need to look right, is by already being right to begin with. Like notice both your fronts are left. If we need to help them, we can still do so from a crab right. So I think it's very important that instead of backing up to here to play zone, we crab on the right side. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I was just a little panicked about taking that angle because of the fact that Mini was already pretty far up and Explo was there, and I got just chipped the hell out. Like I thought I got chipped the hell out from that Explo shot, and I didn't somehow. So I think if I pivoted left, like, or pivoted right really, really fucking fast, I probably would have made it, but...
Yeah. I think you also maybe don't take it too much into consideration. Like, I want you to look at, like, how much you're looking right here, just in general.
Yeah.
You have the right paint, but that's all the thought you give to it. And then from here on out, as they actually push, like, you're still maybe in the thought process of, okay, I'm gonna get crab. I'm not really gonna set up I'm not thinking about where I'm setting up my crab. I'm just like, okay, I gotta get crab for this. And then like as they come in, we're still now in like that like switching state of okay, I have my crab now, but oh wait, I have to put it far back now because they've already gotten here, I guess. But like we just don't consider our options, I think, as well, as to like where we can really place this crab as we're getting it.
Especially since we have cooler, like I think the place is to try to push right.
Great kill. I like this too. Okay, again, you did the same sort of thing here where you left the great position on left to go help with the fight that you couldn't even help with. And this is going to go a lot worse from here because of that, unless they don't do anything about it. Okay, so you still end up getting to the position here, but look at where the dually is, for example. Like, they're they were very close to being able to just kind of do the exact same thing they did the first time you did this exact same thing, which is, let me show you from the map. Like, you come back for this fight, that at this point, like from here, like the only thing you can do is throw a burst. That's the only thing you should be doing, honestly, to help this side right now, because again, you are extremely close to crab, like 98% or something like that. And then also, like, look at how quickly they can move in from here. Like, we've basically given them all of left, they just don't take it, right? Like, the dually comes right for whatever reason, and we just get it back when we shouldn't have. So that's another time. Like, this time they were just a little less like ready for it, I guess, and that, but like that could have gone very poorly too. Okay, and I mean that happened very quickly, but we have control now. I like that we're trying to paint the sides. We could also be looking for chip ramp, which is exactly what we're doing now. Maybe chip on the tent too.
Yeah. I see that. I'm like, okay. And I
Okay,
fall.
this is really bad though, because we go from having full control over the space front to having absolutely none of it super quickly, and it's because we're not looking front. We're not exactly looking front, I guess, is what I'm thinking. If, like, you shouldn't only be considering this place when you have crab, but also just like as a default place to be when on hold, it just right above you, because I think like that not only gives you a good spot for crab, but it also gives you a good view of what's going on. The only thing is you do have to be careful of specials, but like here you have very little clue of what is going on like the left side, for example. Like you kind of see the people moving in, but you're just not well prepared. That's it. You're just not well prepared. You have no ink. Your camera angle is maybe a little off, not looking left, like I said. So that's it. And like everything just happens so fast, like that's exactly why we need to be as prepared as we can be for those situations. And it's also why I said maybe we should be up a little more chipping, like for the left as well, not only just the right, because like stuff like this happens so quick, you know. As soon as we give up the space on left a bit by chipping so far right, and like, you know, playing like really far on this great side, not so much as like middle, like look at what they just immediately do on left. They have the dually come in, the carbon swims in as well, and like at this point, just because we went to the grates and we have no ink, like it's over. Like, we have to back up. So yeah, it's just about being prepared there. Tough fight. Okay.
Yeah.
This is still pretty good for us. Yeah, they kind of overcommit here a little. We have crab.
This angle was ass. I was like, oh my gosh, I should have just did top left. I don't know why the hell.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah. That's about it. You still get kills, but it's not optimal. Yeah.
No, yeah, for the face top left. I was like, oh, I dropped an action. I even said that on call. I was like, oh, I fucked up.
Okay, we're in a great spot though. Only thing I've noticed is that we should be getting crab a lot quicker here, because now all the pressure comes out. We don't have crab ready.
And I called that Zuko was here, and I tried to get behind the block, and it was too late, and I died. I like.
Yeah, I still like. I think again though, like we shouldn't be on zone, at least in this point. You're stacking with the pen too, and like you both, at least both of you should not die to the Zuko. Maybe one, but both of you know. This is not good. I think a lot of it came to you not having crab though. Like you were painting for it, but again, it was not very like focused paint. It was more still super focused like on like what was happening in front. And you can still do that. It's just you also need to be at the same time thinking like, okay, am I gonna get crab for this push or am I not? And if I'm gonna get crab, like it needs to happen as soon as possible because we don't have much time. And every second of we're like, okay, what's happening front, and I kind of need to get crab. Like every second of that instead of just like full focus of crab is what's making your crabs be like really delayed, I guess. And then this, let's see, this is fine. Just need to get this crab up in a good spot. We don't really have time.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we don't cap either. Okay.
I looked away. I was like, I thought we were gonna cap. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, okay. That was a tough spot. I think the only thing there is yeah, maybe just a shot to confirm that that zone is capped is fine. And other than that, I think that game was mostly just about having or being prepared for the hold. A lot of the times, like you were not very prepared. I could tell. Anytime they went to push in, like we didn't really have too much of a game plan, I guess. For that.
Yeah. But
I think that's it though.
yeah, that's everything. We covered like 7 games. I think.
Yeah.
It's been almost 3 hours, 4 hours.
The recording says 2.5 right now, so.
I mean, I feel like this session, I think, kind of put into perspective a couple of things that may help out with the issue I talked about. Because I've talked to a couple different people about something is wrong and I don't really know what it is, and I keep talking about aggression and stuff like that, and I keep being told like, oh, people don't want to play with you in pickups and stuff because your aggression's weird, or something's wrong with your gameplay and no one knows what it is, and it's like one of those things. It's like that kind of gives me a better perspective on what to work on, because if it really is like the earliest, like the early plays are screwing up the actual aggressive plays, then that kind of makes it a little easier for me to figure out where I need to move from there on. So that helps out a lot actually. But I don't know. It's one of those things where like you also notice I play with the same people a lot, so I feel like I don't get enough experience in regards to like diverse playstyles and like how to improve and stuff. And I don't know, like I definitely gotta optimize what I have right now. So that's the big thing, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, I think a lot of it will be easier for you if you do just think about expanding like where you're playing, and what I said about all that. Like you can make things easier on yourself, at least just like in the current state of things. I think things will become a lot easier if you are like setting yourself up better. I want to see if I do the left thing here. I forget if I. Oh no, I think I just go straight to try to fight, but this is bad. Yeah, we were trying a different opening on this map, and it went very poorly. I was trying to see a game where like an actually realistic game of me doing the opening on Umami, but I don't think I do it, at least in those. And then these are games from. Oh, no, this is still that. Still that. Oh, I do play some. Is this? Oh, this is X rank. Hold on. I think we should watch the opening of this. Show you what I mean. Because you can actually see it in action, like what it does. I think I remember this game too. Oh my god, yeah, we hit triple crab.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I'm getting crab, and then I'm immediately looking to see how much pressure is on left, and notice like actually there is quite a bit of pressure this time, so that's bad. Okay, never mind. I don't think I have a good game, at least right now, of it. I look to see if there's pressure, and at the exact moment there's really no pressure there, but they immediately like dive in for me. Maybe there is a game where I actually execute this well, but it is usually what I do. Just don't know if I haven't played too much recently, other than like the scrim yesterday that I did.
Let's see here. Do you go for it? Is that what happens here?
No, again.
I think it's because they have a lot of pressure on them. Yep. Okay.
Bro. I think... Oh, wait, is this with... Oh, no, okay, sorry. This is with... Okay, these are games where I was trying to make my gear. So I was not, like... I was not playing... I was playing with Ninja Squid and other stuff too. My gear was not made at all. So I was just trying to like level up my gear. I wasn't trying to like actually like play well, I guess, but I don't think I have any other games.
I get that. You're good.
I mean, maybe this Umami game. There were two. This was the replay. I want to see actually. Maybe I do it this game. I forget. I think I do. I think I do. Yes, I do. You can see exactly what I was talking about here. There is pressure left, so I... Oh, but I deal with it. Okay. And then I'm in the position to grab. But they do contest me. Like that. This is not. This is a mistake. But like the idea is that you go left when it's not contested. I just go left anyway, even if it is contested, because I like having fun and pushing up, I guess. Like I don't really care. I'm still just gonna try to get there anyway, because if you can make the play happen, then it's like amazing. But I didn't really make the play happen that time either. So yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about. But you should not be doing what I was doing there.
No, I understand. So is this gonna be uploaded like in the next couple days, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I can do that. I have to also upload some coaching stuff from yesterday with Wings, so it's like
I got you.
I don't know. But like the earliest I could probably have it uploaded is tomorrow. So and if it's not uploaded tomorrow, I probably forgot, so it's best for you to just tell me.
Yeah.
Like you did,
Gotcha.
yeah. Because then I will remember.
No, I didn't want to bother you, especially with the holidays, so I was like, he'll just get to it eventually, I guess, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna remind him, like, after New Year's, so, but yeah, I completely understand. You got, everyone's got a lot of shit going on around holidays.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, I feel like I'm really productive. I feel like I'm in the right direction. I promise I'm not asking as many, like, questions as you probably hoped for, because, like, a big part of, like, what I try to do with these sessions is try to just listen in and see what, like, if I do have those questions, but a lot of things, like, are statements, so, like, I'm like, okay, like, I see where this is coming from, you know? Like, but I really do appreciate it. I hope, like, I hope they're interesting games to look at. I try to make sure that the games I grab are good, because don't get me wrong, there's definitely some, like the one I posted for the cows, like after that was like kind of a mess. Like there was a lot of hiccups, in regards to like a lot of the pickups I'm on because of communication. That is like the big thing I think that we struggle with a lot is like Artemis did not VC at all. Like they were in VC, but they did not say a word. Like it was one of those things where it's like, I don't know, it like. Sometimes I wonder if it's because of that, other times, but like it looks like a lot of it is just very much optimization stuff before going into the aggression. That is potential.
Yeah.
So that perspective a lot more because like I try to watch my games back, but I always get like, okay, I feel like this is the right play, but I don't know. There's something inherently wrong here. I'm not sure what it is. So that definitely puts it into perspective on what can be done more. So I really do appreciate.
Yeah, I think what you covered is probably the single biggest thing. And then I guess like the next biggest thing is like I said, and that this actually kind of like also is part of what you just covered, but like you don't really make things easy on yourself when you are playing like the same position for a lot of the time, you know, and like even after it doesn't work out, you still try to play the same position, and like I think that's also part of the reason why you're not able to be as aggressive as maybe your teammates are hoping, or like even maybe as much as you're hoping. But a lot of it isn't even that you're maybe not trying to be aggressive, but more that you lack the opportunities to do so because of where you're playing.
No, I understand. Yeah,
Alright.
so I need to. I definitely gotta go lab out some positions like this because like Robo, like again, Robo and Bar- big ones. I think like I feel really comfortable on maps like Mincemeat and Mincemeat, Crab Leg. Like I feel really comfortable on those maps because I generally am playing the off angles or off positions a lot of times on those maps. But stuff like that, yeah, that does kind of mess me up sometimes. So, yeah, I feel like that's definitely a really good starting point to like kind of explore to see if that is the big thing. Because looking at like what we discussed, I think that could be it. And I haven't really had a lot of people discuss that with me. Whatever. If you couldn't tell, I like ask a lot of people to do VOD reviews too, like because as many different perspectives as possible. And like the two big things I get are I don't know how you could have played this better, or I think that was just like, or I think that your team just should have did this, and it's like I don't think that helps. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
so, yeah, it's been a bit of a problem to like find people that like, practice support specifically and play the gun that I play, and have that experience. And then other people just go, oh, just play more aggressive, and don't clarify on what that means. Like. It's like, yeah, like I can play, like they're like, just watch Schumann. You just watch Schumann, you'll figure it out. I'm like Schumann is like one of the best aggressive, like Schumann has like some of the best mechanics, like out of like the top players in the game right now. And
Yes, yeah.
you can watch him play aggro all you want, but if you don't understand like how he's pulling that shit off because he has those mechanics. And if you don't really understand like how the fight should be going into it, it's like it's one of the things that kind of just cooks you. Like, I don't know. It's been a lot of learning. X rank is I think I talked about this. X rank has been really bad, but maybe that's a good direction to go in. Because I've been like I've been hard stuck 2044 in all modes, like 2044 exact number.
Oh wow.
Like if I go above that, I instantly shoot back down to that, or they shoot me down further. It's like okay, that number just seems to be cursed, but it's okay. Well, it'll happen eventually. I'm just playing as much as I can right now to get the practice in, and I think this is definitely gonna be a better direction for moving forward.
That's good.
So I really appreciate it. Let me know when you upload stuff. I'll
Right.
Just shoot. If I'll remind you tomorrow if nothing comes up.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been at this like 4 hours. I'm not gonna bother you anymore.
No, it's okay. All right. Well.
All right.
See you then.
Yeah. See you then. Thank you so much. Genuinely, I appreciate it a ton.
No
All right,
problem.
have a good one.
Anytime. All right. See ya.